When people are making a decision, particularly buying off the plan, for a lot of them, it's the first time they've done that. And the more that we can do to give them that confidence, that peace of mind, the more that separates us from our competitors, the more that we'll see that as being a positive.
So I'm here with Robert Farola from Daycorp. Thanks very much for coming on.
No worries, good to see you.
Would you mind sharing your initial thoughts when you first heard about LDI?
Well, look, at Daycorp, we recognise that our purchasers want confidence and peace of mind. LDI is important to us because it ticks a box for our purchasers, gives them a sense of security and confidence.
You know, actually it was when we wrote an article about Daycorp and hearing you guys talk about your view on LDI and how that you were integrating that into your projects. It was one of the first times where our analytics kind of jumped off the page and we saw consumer interest and engagement and stuff really leap up. So, you know, I think it kind of takes some of the big developers that have got the brand to get behind these types of products to get the market to broadly adopt them.
Well, look, I think it's useful for purchasers who are considering off the plan. They really want to make sure that who they're buying from is someone that has confidence and ability. Being an insured developer like Daycorp means that we've passed all the tests required to achieve LDI.
When was the first project that you engaged LDI for?
So we've just completed a project in Zetland called Downtown. And I think we had our first conversations with Resilience in 2023. That project, 546 apartments, has just been concluded. And it was our first to apply LDI to.
Obviously, LDI was a new product when you guys first adopted it. Did you have any kind of reservations or uncertainty related to it?
Look, we could see how it would be a potentially positive thing for our purchasers and for ourselves. But we wanted to understand how it would work for us in the real world. Our conversations with the Resilience gave us the confidence that it was a product that we could embrace and that our purchasers would see as being very positive.
And so how did you build it into the feasibility? Because obviously it's a new thing coming in, and how do you think about the costs related to it?
Well, actually, the first project we applied it to was a project already under construction. So for us, it was a conscious decision to apply it midway through a project. But for all of our current and future projects, it's been priced in from the beginning. It's part of our feasibility for the project.
And one of the things when we've asked buyers what they think, and we started seeing this, as I mentioned, with one of your projects actually, was when we started seeing really high customer engagement and we started surveying buyers, asking them what they thought about it. And we had a feeling what they were going to say just based on the behaviour on the site. One of the questions we asked them was about whether they would pay a premium for that versus a project that didn't. And it was around 70% of people that said they'd pay more than 1.5%, which is kind of the typical. Have you found that it's enabled you guys to have that premium price point?
Selling off the plan is a very competitive industry at the moment, and we have to make sure that our product is at the right price in the market. What we do find is that when people are making a decision between an apartment that has LDI and one that doesn't, they're more likely to purchase one that has. And so if that means that we can sell more of our units more quickly, then that's a benefit for us.
One of the things that we really like about the LDI product is the technical inspection service. How often do they come through the project and check what's going on?
So the inspections are monthly, and we've incorporated those into our quality assurance program for our builders. We see it as a way of adding a layer of confidence to our purchasers by having these inspections throughout the construction process.
One of the things that I thought was interesting when I saw that Daycorp was an early adopter of the LDI product, my original thinking when I heard about it was that I thought it would be more the smaller developers that don't have the brand equity that would want to be giving consumers confidence in lieu of kind of brand and perhaps track record. You know, how did you guys think about that, being such early players in the space?
One of the most important things that we recognise for buyers is they want confidence and peace of mind. As a developer and a builder, we've gone to great lengths to make sure that we've built a name based on our quality of our work and our reputation. Things like ICERT, ISO, International Standards Organisations, checklists. We go above and beyond to make sure that our products are delivered properly. When people are making a decision, particularly buying off the plan, for a lot of them, it's the first time they've done that. And the more that we can do to give them that confidence and that peace of mind, the more that separates us from our competitors, the more that we'll see that as being a positive.
You know, as I mentioned before, we're seeing high engagement rates in general with Daycorp projects, but particularly I think the LDI is really making an impact. How's it translating from a sales point of view for you guys?
Well, I know that our purchasers really appreciate having that additional layer of security and protection when they're making the decision to purchase off the plan. And our sales agents are telling us that it's another point of difference for us as a developer and a builder to give those purchasers that extra layer of confidence when making that decision.
And other suppliers, perhaps like the financiers you work with, you know, what's the feedback from other people been like?
Finance sector is now looking at this as a standard requirement for developers down the track. The more that this takes off in the industry, the more that the financiers will want this as a requirement. So we feel as though by leading the industry and being one of the first adopters, that we're showing that this is a viable product that works for our customers.
So LDI is a bit of a newer product, but it is growing really quickly. How do you see it playing out over the next 5 to 10 years, and what type of impact do you think it may have on the market?
Look, we're really pleased to be one of the early adopters of LDI. We see it as a real point of difference for our purchasers. In the industry, I think it will become more and more common as people understand its benefits, builders and developers, as well as purchasers and people buying off the plan. We see this as being the way of the future. And I'm sure in the future it'll become mandatory for all projects to have LDI. And that's one of the reasons why we've adopted it so early.
The way we see the market is, the off the plan and new supply coming on does typically compete with the established market. And you guys are focused on building the kind of relative value proposition of our sector as a whole. And what's good for individual developers is still what's good for the goose is good for the gander, so to speak. And so we, hope to see more and more of the product adoption, and leaders like Daycorp taking charge of this stuff really helps our category. So I appreciate you taking the time to come and talk to us, and congratulations on the project so far.
Thank you.